Part 269. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 2681. This is also the most important reason why Bai Biao has been pushing Fang Fan to go to the Beast Arena before. This guy wants to make a buck. Take it easy. In such a coliseum, if you win too much, you may not be able to get out. And when the gamble is opened, your maximum amount will definitely be limited. Don't be too loud. Fang Fan curled his lips, and then followed up with vigilance. This guy Bai Biao usually looks quite clever, but once he gets on the gambling table, it's like a different person. To some extent, this guy really has the aura of a god of gamblers. If you become obsessed with gambling, your parents won't recognize you. Ah. Don't worry. Can I still not understand this truth? Anyway, I've messed around too. I think I made hundreds of billions of blood in the gambling table that I presided over. That scenery at that time. While talking, Bai Biao raised his head silently. While talking, his gasping sound became more and more urgent. All kinds of thoughts gathered in the heart, and the whole person gradually became erratic. This kind of excitement that comes from the heart seems very urgent. Invisibly, it brought him a sense of explosion in consciousness. Now it's time to take off. Take off is pending. It feels so good. Bai Biao is a bit too pretty now. Or a good sense of self. Take it easy, don't lose everything when the time comes. Fang Fan curled his lips, and then followed suit. With the Uncle G here, the green light is all the way to the Coliseum. The Coliseum will be arranged for the 31 students in the first year seed class soon. This is basically no problem. Brother Fang Fan, I don't think it's a big problem for you to win 10 games in a row. Maybe there is still a chance to be on the winning streak list. It is said that you can also get some rewards for being in the top 100 of the winning streak list, and they are distributed inside the Coliseum. Gui Sha was rubbing his fists at the side, and then chatted with him. Top 100 win streaks. That requires 19 wins in a row. This pressure is too much. Husband, we should not try this. I heard that the beast fighters in this Coliseum are not good. What will I do if something happens to you? I don't want my child to be born without a father. Xiao Liulai pursed her lips, then said solemnly. Fang Fan's face darkened, and he touched his nose in embarrassment. What's going on here? Why is this even involving the child? We're not there yet. Men should go out. I believe in him. He is the most powerful king. Although those fighters in the Coliseum are cruel, they are only cruel. Their fighting moves are too rigid, but Brother Fang Fan's fighting skills and super strength can completely crush them. I think Brother Fang Fan can go one step further. Lu Jiyi put forward the opposite point of view, and while talking at the moment, her breathing became imperceptibly rapid. At this moment, he nodded frequently and said, needless to say anything else, this gesture is very pure, and then nodded quickly. All aspects of the feeling followed in place. What do you know? How can you tease my husband like this? Are you responsible for any danger? You woman is too vicious. My husband treats you so well, yet you still want to entrap him. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 2682. Xiao Liulai suddenly lost her temper. She was talking, and then she was humming along. Others don't need to say much for the time being, this feeling seems very real. Fang Fan breathed out a mouthful of turbid air silently, and then gave a wry smile. Why bother? As for doing things like this? The two women quarreled directly in front of him. The key is not a thing. Is it worth it to make such a big noise? Fang Fan supported his forehead. His scalp was more or less numb at the moment. Can you keep a low profile a little bit? This is a headache. Fortunately, the noise didn't last long, and the Colosseum was already preparing to arrange for the first group of people to enter the Colosseum. Because the identities of Fang Fan and other students had to be kept secret, they all wore various masks. Fang Fan chose a black dragon mask at random, and immediately appeared on the stage. From this batch, there are a total of 5 seed class students. In addition to Fang Fan only, Galen and Kyle also came out. Plus Kisha and a student whose name I don't know. This first batch came out just to make a sample. So basically the combat power is not bad, most of them are elites above the 4-star sanctuary realm. That is to say, Fang Fan is quite special, what he shows is a 1-star mid-level cultivation base. Perhaps it was Taishiji who had deliberately greeted the people at the Colosseum. The first person to fight against Fang Fan was a strong man in the sanctuary realm at the beginning of the 3-star stage. At a glance, he was about 2 meters tall, his face was full of flesh, and the size of his chest made countless women feel ashamed. There are strange injuries all over the body, and there are really few knife wounds and sword wounds. Many of them are tooth marks, claw marks, and the like. The two sides fighting in the Colosseum generally do not use weapons, the best weapons are hands and teeth. Even when fighting those monsters in the Colosseum, they were all bare-handed. This kind of hand-to-hand combat is very exciting, invisibly giving people a sense of infinite explosion in consciousness. Especially when the two sides fight each other, it is the most exciting. If you have a weapon, you can give me a knife, and the battle may be over, which doesn't seem exciting. But if you don't use a weapon, you punch me on the chest, and I punch you back on the bridge of the nose. You bite my ear, and I bite your mouth in turn. It's so exciting that you come and go. At least at this time, the combat power between each other can explode invisibly. The sense of rhythm of the explosion is very strong. The rest are all nonsense, but the fighting looks very real. The scene of blood and flesh, how exciting. Hit. Hit him. Slap him in the face. Bite his eyes. Cut him to death. Xia Sanlu. Attack Xia Sanlu. Crush it. Ha ha ha. Break your leg. It's so exciting. Bite the flesh on his chest and bite it off. Tisk tisk tisk, bite his tongue. Yes. That's it. The tongue is broken. Wolf King. Keep fighting. Crap. Labor and capital have bet heavily on you, don't give me the pick. Master won the Star Core, I will give you a reward. This irritable voice is the main theme of the Colosseum. When Fang Fan and the other 5 came out wearing masks, everyone's eyes flocked here instantly. Because Fang Fan and the other 5 were clearly dressed differently from these ordinary beast fighters. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 2683. Generally speaking, there will indeed be some beast fighters with different costumes in the Colosseum. These people are basically the children of the big families who want to come and try it out, the so-called young children of the Colosseum. Such a young child is tearing up, and it feels more. This invisibly directly satisfies the perverted desires of those perverted viewers. At this moment, the audience in the Colosseum is completely boiling. Ha ha ha. It's a good show tonight. Tisk tisk tisk, I can still see these chicks. Interesting. Really interesting. It's not in vain that I've waited until now. Tear them apart. Those immature arms, tear off bit by bit. It's so exciting. Get restless. Get restless, don't be embarrassed. It's so exciting. A wave took off directly. The atmosphere is getting up. Brothers, follow me to bed. This time, I will let the Colosseum lose everything. This is the benefits that the Colosseum gives back to our regular customers. Not bad, not bad, not bad. Take off. This wave really took off. The noisy sounds continued, and things on the scene gradually broke out. That kind of excitement immediately exploded. For these old audiences who often hang out in the Colosseum, they actually have a bottom line in their hearts. Usually when you encounter this kind of youngsters who come up to show, if you buy the youngsters without thinking and lose, you can basically win. What are these so-called big family disciples? They enjoy those high-end resources, but in the end they are nothing but trash. Human life in this Colosseum is as cheap as water, but it is also the fairest to some extent. If you are strong in battle, you will naturally be able to beat all dissatisfied. But if you are a rookie in terms of combat power, there is a high probability that you will be torn into pieces and become your opponent's medal of victory. In this kind of place, it is so real. Fang Fan shrugged, then took a look at his opponent. So be it. The sanctuary realm at the beginning of Samsung. Because he often hangs around in the Colosseum, he can be regarded as crawling out of the pile of dead people, and his combat power can be increased by a small level, which is roughly equivalent to the normal 3-star middle or high-level sanctuary realm combat power. The strength is not bad, but it is not much better. Generally speaking, it is of an average level, so you don't need to pay too much attention to what's there or what's missing, as it invisibly gives people a sense of sight. Fang Fan narrowed his eyes secretly, thinking to himself, then nodded silently. Now just waiting for the battle to start. To be honest, Fang Fan really didn't plan to sharpen his combat power in this Colosseum, because there was no need to sharpen at all. On the surface, Fang Fan seems to be a 1-star mid-level sanctuary, but once he activates the sharing magic skill of the Servant of the Rage God, he can mobilize the combat power of the Servant of the Rage God. Among the desolate gods and servants under Fang Fan's command, there are 3 great pets who are all 6-star early-stage sanctuary realm. In other words, even if he encountered the existence of a 6-star sanctuary, Fang Fan could fight. Fang Fan came to this Colosseum to get the 1 million credits for the 10-game winning streak stipulated by the seed class, and the other thing is that the Colosseum's winning streak ranking list is also rewarded. After taking this wave of rewards, it's over. Roar. Ho 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 ho. Young bird. A young child in the sanctuary realm in the middle of a star. He he he. The Colosseum actually gave me BA benefits. Standing in front of Fang Fan, the burly man in the sanctuary realm at the beginning of the 3-star stage grinned, showing a murderous intent on his face. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 2684. His eyes sized Fang Fan wantonly, and then he licked his lips. Tisk, such a young child is really reluctant to kill him directly. If only I could get it and enjoy it. It's a pity that we met in the Colosseum. But it's not impossible, I will solve you in the Colosseum later. Tisk tisk tisk, ba haven't tasted meat for a long time. The burly man in the sanctuary realm at the beginning of the 3-star stage was talking, and then he sneered at Fang Fan. Why do you have to die? I didn't intend to hammer you to death, but you insisted on this. Pity. Fang Fan shrugged, his face full of casualness. You will never be able to save a person who is determined to seek death. For such a sand sculpture, just kill it directly. You said I was going to die. Are all the young children so arrogant now? Later, your grandpa Ba will let you know what cruelty is. Ha ha ha. Do you want to watch the repertoire? Give me a lot of rewards for Ba, and I will perform for you on the arena. The burly man in the sanctuary realm at the beginning of Samsung spoke, and then waved his hands excitedly. While talking, the excitement on his face was beyond words. Needless to say anything else, This gesture is particularly pure. Needless to say anything else for the time being, this expression is revealed completely. After a wave of hints from this burly man, the audience below immediately booed wildly. Ha ha ha. Is the Colosseum crazy? A 1-star sanctuary level chick is fighting against a 3-star sanctuary level bully sword? Looking for death. Although this overlord saber is not very powerful in combat, it was crawled out of the dead after all. Naturally, its strength is not too bad. No. No, I laughed, I died from laughing. Brothers. The betting market is open at the Colosseum. Hurry up and cast this sword to win, let's go to the Colosseum to collect the wool. Now or never. One day we will be able to cut leeks from the Colosseum. How exciting. Brothers, I'm bankrupt. You all follow me. Don't be cowardly. Just do it. Sting, stimulate. It's really stimulating. Kill the Colosseum. This is our great wish. Do it. Don't be cowardly. Whoever coaxes is a melon. Ba deo. Him. I'll give you a reward of 100 million. The irritable voices continued, and the whole audience boiled up. This time, there were 5 students from the first year seed class, but Fang Fan was definitely the most popular here. It's not that Fang Fan's charm is infinite, with this mask on, who knows what hammer charm you are. In fact, the main reason is that the realm gap between Fang Fan and this tyrant is particularly eye-catching. Isn't this the result that a fool would predict? As for the beast arena on the side of Gishagalan and the others, the combat power between them is actually not too different, so it seems that there is not much excitement. Among the crazy crowd in the audience, there was one person who seemed the most excited. Grass. Scent. This wave is definitely coming. Damn it. It's just that there are too many dogs in this Colosseum, saying that my VIP level in the Colosseum is not enough, and I can only bet 100 million at a time. Damn it. Why didn't you remind Labor and Capital that they didn't have enough grades to invest too much when they paid for StarCore? This Colosseum is the last thing. Fortunately, I still have a trick up my sleeve. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shuyu. Chapter 2685. Bai Biao rubbed his hands underneath, his little face flushed. It's time to get rich. Bai Biao looked at the more than 90 first-year seed class students in front of him. I'll give each of you 100 million low-grade star cores, help me to bet, and the buyer will win. Don't worry, I won't let you run errands for nothing. I'll give you errand fees, 1 million low-grade star cores per person. How about it? Anyone who wants to do it can come here. He, it's just a matter of running errands. Earning millions of low-grade star cores in blood in an instant. Isn't this deal worthwhile? Even if you win 3 matches in a row on the arena, you can get 10,000 credits, cough. 10,000 credits is indeed a lot, but it is dangerous after all, isn't it? I don't have any risk, as long as you are willing to do it, it will be absolutely fine. Such a good opportunity, you must seize it. Don't miss this opportunity and never come again. Where can you find such a good opportunity to make a fortune? Quick. Stop the ink. Give me back the betting voucher. Bai Biao gritted his lips and started his betting career. Although there is a limit of 100 million low-grade star cores for each person in this betting, Bai Biao directly mobilized other students from the first-year seed class to bet on their behalf. On average, it's basically an odds of 1 to 8. The tens of billions of low-grade star cores can earn back almost 70 billion. Not only can I make up for the previous deficit, but I can also make a lot of money. This deal is worth it. It's a pity that the gamblers in the Colosseum are all independent businesses. Don't let me open the market, otherwise you will drain all your pockets. Tisk tisk tisk. Don't be too happy. In the future, we should encourage Fang Fan to come to the Colosseum more often. This is completely picking up star cores. While talking, Bai Piao quickly nodded and thought. Because he was too complacent, he couldn't help but started talking to himself. Even if Sima Zhen, the super tutor of the God of War Academy, walks by his side, it is still unknown. Cough. Sima Zhen, the super tutor of the Ares Academy, coughed, wanting to make Bai Piao get back to normal quickly. Cough, what cough? Who is this? Cough, yes, it's Instructor Sima. What advice do you have? Bai Piao raised his eyebrows, and immediately became respectful. If you want to continue to hang out in Guangming Academy, then these tutors must not be offended. Bai Piao is so clever, he can understand everything after turning his brain. Needless to say, the rest for the time being, this feeling followed in place virtually. You asked all the students to help you bet and gamble. Bai Piao, your influence is too bad. No matter what, you are still a student. Why do you, a student, think about gambling all day? Is there something you haven't said? 10 bets and 9 loses, gambling dogs will die. You have to change your temper. This will ruin the reputation of the institution. Sima Zhen, a super tutor of the Ares Academy, rubbed his forehead, and the corners of his mouth twitched unnaturally. He really can't help it. There is not a single stop. Everyone is doing something. In vain. Mr. Sima, your thinking is too narrow. I'm making money. I am saving all peoples from fire and water. I'm here to help my classmates solve the economic crisis. I'm helping those gamblers get rid of their gambling addiction. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 2686. While talking, Bai Piao gradually revealed a righteous look on his face. He felt that there was nothing wrong with him in this aspect. Isn't this what it should be? While talking, Bai Piao hurriedly nodded and said. That's what it said. But why does this sound so awkward? Sima Zhen, the super tutor of the God of War Academy, was speechless, and the black lines on his forehead became more and more numerous. You instigated your classmates to bet on you, is that reasonable? What does it mean to help students solve the economic crisis? Return the gambling addiction to those gamblers. Crawling nonsense. How did you get into the seed class? Sima Zhen's face darkened, and the corners of his mouth twitched involuntarily while talking. At this moment, he really didn't know what to say. As long as the students are willing to help me, they don't need to take any risks. I give them 1 million errand fees for the low-grade star core. Isn't this generating income for them? Furthermore, the more star cores I cast, the more star cores I earn, and the more star cores those gamblers lose. After they lose too much, they will naturally understand the gambling in the Colosseum. Disc is so sinister. In this way, they may slowly lose their interest in gambling. I'm concerned about the country and the people. Is there something wrong? Teacher Sima, you really need to change your concept. Some things are right and wrong, but some things seem to be wrong, but they are actually extremely correct. Teacher Sima, I must teach you this heavy lesson. Teacher Sima, I am not as good as you when it comes to teaching students to practice, but you are not as good as me when it comes to maximizing benefits. Bai Piao spoke solemnly. While he was speaking, he quickly nodded his head. It's as if it's really the same thing, but anyone with a discerning eye can hear it. Isn't this just nonsense? When I am stupid? You bastard, your mouth is still as good as ever. Me. Sima Zhen, the super tutor of the Ares Academy, took a few deep breaths, and he really couldn't say some words. After meeting Taishaji, Sima Zhen had the feeling that a scholar met a soldier. To some extent, Sima Zhen belongs to the kind of very gentlemanly mentor, who wants to follow the right path in everything. As for the gambling table, he always thinks that this is a crooked way. If he is immersed in it for a long time, it will only make people completely depressed. Needless to say, the rest for the time being, this feeling followed in place virtually. This is how it feels in all aspects. Once you feel in place, the rest of the things naturally don't matter. In fact, that is the case. Bai Piao. Get over here. How did you talk to your mentor Sima? Don't you know about respecting teachers? You kid, I've seen you badly for a long time. You brat, now you actually magnified your set of fallacies and heresies. Ah. Why didn't you sign up for the Colosseum this time? That's it? Can you still be regarded as my Uncle G's apprentice? Taishaji walked over in stride, and directly began to make a full-scale accusation. While talking, the sound of scolding is endless. Uncle G never cared much about those who did not gamble, but Bai Piao is now a disciple under his name after all, and this time, Bai Piao didn't sign up for the seed class's fighting beast stage. Actually flinched. This is too embarrassing. Thinking of this, Taishaji became furious. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 2687. Now there is just a chance, Taishaji will naturally not let go of this good opportunity to reprimand Bai Piao. And when he was in the mortuary, this bastard made complaints about him and belittled him as a master in front of so many people. Can this uncle bear it? It was a laugh at the time, but now it can be regarded as a post-autumn settlement. Seeing Taishaji also join the scolding team, Bai Piao looked a little confused. Why the hell is this all about me? Just because I'm honest and easy to bully? This is also unreasonable. This is not the case at all. Fang Fan has done so many things against Yingtian, and I haven't seen you, a master, come forward to teach me a lesson. How come I'm here? Everything is wrong. They're all your apprentices, so they can't be so clearly distinguished? Bai Piao is naturally upset here. This boo-boo-boo, after all, we have to follow and stabilize the wave. Otherwise, the feeling of slapping the face is not so good. Master, you are too biased. Back then, Fang Fan tore down the top of the Tower of Light and abducted the Deputy Palace Master's daughter, but you didn't reprimand him. How did you get to me? Just place a bet, and that's it? Master, a bowl of water should be level. The palms and backs of these hands are full of flesh. It's not good to be partial. Generally speaking, there is nothing Bai Piao dare not say. At this moment, he hurriedly followed the boo-boo-boo, that's what it meant. Can you compare with Fang Fan? Now Fang Fan is winning glory for me on the arena, what are you doing? Also, Fang Fan is able to abduct the Deputy Palace Master's daughter, that's his ability, can you do it? Speaking of which, you and Fang Fan entered the school together, and you both came from the same sanctuary, so why is there such a big gap? Why? If you were half as tenacious as Fang Fan, you wouldn't worry me so much. If I can train another monstrous apprentice, the two swords will be combined, and I will be invincible in the world. Who will dare to underestimate my Uncle G in the future? Everyone says that my great Uncle G is a necromancer, but they don't know that the ones I cultivate are the real elites. Taishaji couldn't help showing a look of anticipation on his face while talking. This time the thoughts gathered here, it really seemed like that. Needless to say, the rest for the time being, this feeling is very real. That's it? Here in Taishuji, there are no too many rules and regulations, you are strong and you are done. Bai Piao opened his mouth, wanting to say something, but in the end he couldn't get in. He also knew that with Taishuji, he couldn't say anything to him at all. The one who is thinking about in his heart is his invincible disciple Fang Fan. Bai Biao's eyeballs rolled around, and suddenly he got a plan from his heart. Cough. Master, actually, in fact, my bet is all for that kid Fang Fan. You know that his cultivation consumes a lot of star core. Then I'll just help him run errands or something, and then I'll get 30% of all the proceeds, and the remaining 70% will belong to him. Speaking of which, I'm also working for that kid Fang Fan. Master, if the impact is not good, forget it. I will withdraw the principal now and call all the students back. Bai Biao continued to roll his eyeballs, while talking, then blinked. Needless to say the rest, this feeling is basically in place. This can be regarded as taking advantage of strength. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 2688. This guy Bai Biao still has a lot of careful thoughts. While talking, he immediately slapped Tai Shiji. For it. Fang Fan asked you to place a bet. My apprentice Fang Fan lacks cultivation resources. That's true. For a proud man like him who wants to improve his cultivation and increase his combat power, it really costs a lot. Otherwise, it would be impossible to keep going against the sky. Hey, so it's still the case. My apprentice's cultivation heart is really too persistent. If all the students of Guangming Academy can have such a firm heart to practice, why worry about the academy not being able to grow? Why do you care about the exchange competition between schools and colleges? In this respect, my apprentice Fang Fan is definitely a typical example. Such a model cannot be missed. Even if I, as a master, can't help, I still have to give my full support. This is positive energy. This is the exemplary spirit that all students in the school should emulate and learn from. By the way, Bai Biao, do you have enough star cores? If not enough, I will allocate some for you. This way, the funds will be sufficient, and the operation will be easier. Tai Shuji gradually entered the play. While talking, he quickly nodded his head. After showing this posture, there is no need to say more about the rest of the words. This wave looks very strong. After a wave of feeling, my brain is buzzing. On the side, Sima Zhen, a special tutor of the God of War Academy, opened his mouth and gradually turned into an O shape. Can this still make such a turning point? How can this be explained so forcefully? The bright image of the sun shining and righteous words just now collapsed in an instant? Ah, this. Could this face-changing speed be any faster? Sima really felt that he was still a little younger. Just now, I really believed that Tai Shuji's thinking has gradually become a mentor. Now it seems that this is still the former necromancer, which has not changed from beginning to end. Sima was really shocked, and Bai Biao beside him felt the same. Double standard dog. I'm so humming going to place bets, and I'm always using righteousness to suppress me, and I'm always saying that what I said is fallacy. But as long as this fallacious theory is attached to Fang Fan, it will be the righteousness of the school in an instant. It is the spirit of role models at every turn. Even pay out of their own pockets to wave the flag. Is this bilateral land too obvious? Can we hold back a little bit? They are also your apprentices, and this attitude is one of the sky and the other of the earth. This, okay. Bai Biao looked at the ceiling speechlessly, and now his self-positioning is very clear. Master, you are a real dog. Bai Biao waved his hands and left gracefully. Uncle Ji was stunned for a moment. He really didn't realize it just now. After he realized it, Bai Biao had already walked some distance away. This bastard, this is trying to deceive the master and destroy the ancestors. Dare to say anything. The corner of Tai Shiji's mouth twitched, and then he complained from the side. But at this moment, Tai Shiji didn't bother to argue with Bai Biao. At the Colosseum, The first battle of the 5 students including Fang Fan was about to begin. Fang Fan's opponent is the Ba Dao of the Sanctuary Realm at the beginning of the 3-star stage. After the confrontation between the two sides, there was quite a feeling of tension. If you are not careful, it seems that you are going to do it directly. Now many spectators in the Colosseum are focusing their attention here, and most of them want to see how Fang Fan was abused. After all, in their eyes, Fang Fan is a veritable young child. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 2689. The whistling sound has never stopped. The sound of violent shouting also gathered invisibly. Boy. Later, I will let you experience what cruelty is. The Colosseum is not something you youngsters can come to. Standing in front of Fang Fan's eyes, the strong and powerful man sneered, and then slapped him directly with a slap as big as a fan. Weapons are not allowed in the Colosseum, so it's basically fist and slap attacks. After the referee announced that he could fight, Fang Fan rushed over with a punch. Boom! Fang Fan's fist collided with the slap of this strong and powerful man. The face of the strong man Ba Dao was full of rebellion, and he felt that his side was about to become a super god. This wave is so cool. Inexplicably there is a sense of takeoff. It's the feeling of flying. Click. Click. Suddenly there was a sound of bones breaking, and the proud smile on the face of the burly man stopped abruptly, replaced by endless panic. Ah! My hand, my hand. It hurts. It hurts so much. Ah! A heart-piercing roar followed, and the burly man only felt a convulsion all over his body. At this moment, he only felt that his arm had been completely broken. It's cold. This wave is completely cold. This hand is useless. He was careless. The young boy wearing a mask in front of him is very strong, very strong. It's not the 1-star mid-sanctuary cultivation level shown on the surface at all. This wave was slapped in the face. This is the last will and thought of this strong man. At this moment, it is useless even if he wakes up, everything will come to an end. His body formed a beautiful parabola in the air. Then he fell heavily on the ground, trembling all over his body. The severe pain directly gave him a sense of passive tearing. This kind of feeling invisibly increased. Needless to say the rest, this feeling is very unique. Puff. The burly man spat out a mouthful of reverse blood, trembling his lips, and wanted to say something more, but at this moment, he felt a heavy sleepiness. Endless pain plus endless sleepiness. Combined together, they curled up on the ground, gradually losing their breath. One punch, Superman. One punch and it's over. One punch, beat to death. The people around the Colosseum stared wide-eyed, seemingly in disbelief. What the hell are you looking at? That's it? Can you stop for a little while? This is about to explode. Why can't I understand this at all? When did the young children on the arena become so strong? After a short period of silence, there was a burst of noise from the surrounding area. Ba Dao is so hot. He was beaten to death with one fist. Damn, who said that Ba Dao must win just now? Labor and capital went bankrupt. Day. What the hell, are you kidding me? Can you play like this? Ah, can you stop a little bit? I don't understand at all. I feel like he was invited by the Colosseum. He deliberately created the illusion that he is trash, and then lured us into it, and then cut us leaks. It's too stupid. This guy codenamed Jean Tien looks like a baby. Entered the pit. The Colosseum is getting dirty. At first, I wanted to squeeze the wool from the Colosseum, but now it's alright, we'll be squeezed dry first. In the future, labor and capital will not enter the game. That is obviously a scam. Dry. Rubbish. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shuyu. Chapter 2690. The sound of abuse was endless, and the sound of the explosion gradually became more and more rapid. Needless to say the rest, this feeling erupted invisibly. Each roared, complained about each other, and then yelled crazily. Probably such a very pure attitude. Losing the star core, these audiences were naturally upset, so it was only normal to roar a few times explosively. It's all like this, can't we let them roar twice? This heart is almost suffocated to death. Fang Fan's code name on the arena is Zhan Tian, named after Zhan Tian's sword. This name is both domineering and arrogant. At this moment, the name Zhan Tian became popular in an instant. Many people felt that it was because Fang Fan lost the star core, even the amount was not small, so naturally they couldn't be happy in their hearts. Of course, at this moment, they are basically cursing the Colosseum's shameless cutting of leaks, completely showing the Colosseum's shameless posture. In fact, those who choose to gamble are doing it on their own. Since you want to obtain excess returns, you naturally have to bear these risks. Betting on dogs is not qualified to shout. Since you can't afford to gamble, why can't you stop a little bit at the beginning? Fang Fan stretched his waist, and then continued to stay in the Colosseum. According to the rules of the Colosseum, the record standard for winning streak is to stay on the Colosseum all the time, and then defeat your opponent. Some are happy and some are sad. Although most of the audience in the audience looked angry, they were not without excitement. Tisk tisk tisk. It's developed in one wave. Cool. That's how it feels. You still have to follow in Fang Fan's footsteps. It's taken off. Not only have I made back all the previous losses, but I can also reap tens of billions in this wave. Who said there is no gambling market in this world where you can make a profit without losing money? Just follow Fang Fan. You can make a lot of money. Look at the opportunity, be steady. At this moment, Bai Piao counts the money until his hands cramp. While talking, he nodded with a serious face. While speaking, he couldn't help looking at Sima Zhen, the super tutor of the God of War Academy. Seeing the stern expression on his face, he curled his lips and said, "Mr. Sima, why don't you make a bet for me next time? I'll give you an extra middle fee. This is really a guaranteed profit. Or you can bet yourself." "Mr. Sima, my master just said that this is positive energy. How can something so positive be stopped? Don't you think so? It must be practiced to the end. Mr. Sima, the opportunity to make a fortune is right in front of you. If you miss it, it will be a lifetime. You are a special tutor of Guangming Academy. The default level in this Colosseum is very high, and you can bet a lot. It's a pity not to use it. You don't need any skills, just vote for Fang Fan Kid without thinking and win. Otherwise, is this good? You bet on Fang Fan to win, and if you lose, I will pay for it. If you win, we will open 50-50. Hey hey." Bai Piao's eyes lit up. While talking, he nodded quickly and said, "This is the rhythm of wanting to drag Sima Zhen, the super mentor of the God of War Academy, into the water." The corner of Sima Zhen's mouth couldn't help twitching. Now he really can't say anything. It stands to reason that it shouldn't be like opening a gamble or betting, but Bai Piao's appearance of being reasonable and well-founded is very justified.